What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update. Today, we'll be looking at two Arsenal midfielders who look set to leave the football club. The first one who certainly divides opinion, and that is Swiss international midfielder Granit Xhaka. The 28-year-old looks to be on his way out of Arsenal, and he's being linked with a move to Italian side Roma. We heard this link a few days ago. And the link to Jose Mourinho saying that he would like to bring Xhaka. He's praised him heavily in the past, saying that, he sees him as the glue to Arsenal's midfield. Well, sometimes he plays like he's running with glue on his feet, to be honest, the way he turns. But listen, he's a fully committed player. He has had his problems in the past. The time, of course, when he threw the armband on the floor when he was playing under previous manager Unai Emery as one of Arsenal's 5 captains at the time. It was believed his time was up at Arsenal then, but the new manager, Mikel Arteta, convinced him to stay despite interest from German side Hertha Berlin at the time. And look, Granit Xhaka's probably just finished his best season in an Arsenal shirt. But I think the problem is he's never been the answer for Arsenal in midfield. Maybe we haven't used him to the best of his ability. I think he would have been better off in a 3-man midfield rather than a pivot with an attacking midfielder in front. He's been at the club since 2016. And I don't think, he's not been a huge success at Arsenal for somebody that we paid £35 million for. What makes it even worse is the fact that we supposedly signed him ahead of N'Golo Kante. And you look at N'Golo Kante's performance in the Champions League final the other day was absolutely phenomenal in that game. And, to think that we signed Xhaka ahead of him is something that definitely leaves a sour taste in the mouth of Arsenal fans. Granit Xhaka turned round. He was asked about the interest from Jose Mourinho. He said, "Of course, I've read about the interest, but right now I'm 100% focused on the Swiss national team." And he went on to say, to be honest, I didn't hear exactly what Mourinho said, but it makes you proud. Everyone knows Mourinho, knows what he has achieved. Mourinho knows how to win titles. You can now see what work I have done over the past few years. So he's almost bigging himself up to say, look at the work I've done. Look what I've produced at Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal fans feel quite the same way as that, Granit. We're more looking at you as you haven't produced the work that we've needed. We can't question his commitment. He has an ability to keep the ball and keep the ball flowing, but he makes big mistakes. You saw Burnley at home. Grabs a player around the throat and gets sent off. Burnley away, a horrendous pass across his own penalty area, hits Chris Wood and goes in the net. So I think Arsenal need an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. It's believed that Roma are willing to pay around £12 million for him. And the rumours are that Arsenal want around £17 to £20 million to make the deal happen. Personally, I think that is a deal that will get done, but we'll have to wait and see. The next one, Matteo Guendouzi, the 22-year-old French midfielder who's just spent the season out on loan at Hertha Berlin. He's made 24 appearances in Germany. We know that him and Mikel Arteta don't get on well. It's believed he's been disciplined a few times by the manager. He sent him out on loan to Hertha Berlin, where he did start the season very well. Later on in the season, though, the manager said that Matteo Guendouzi was like a teenager going through puberty in terms of his immature and petulant attitude. And he did finish the season a little bit better, although he was injured towards the end of the season. He has a year left on his contract at Arsenal, and he even went on to bring up this tweet of Unai Emery congratulating him on winning the Europa League final. Now, okay, that's his former manager, and he obviously has a great affiliation with Emery. But when you think Emery is the manager that knocked Arsenal out of the Europa League, I think any hope that anybody had of Matteo Guendouzi staying at Arsenal for next season went out the window. I think he's done. Marseille apparently want to make him their first signing of the summer. And it's believed this deal will be around £12.5 million. They're talking of an initial 8 million with £4.5 million in add-ons. I mean, 12.5 million. I remember about 18 months ago, Guendouzi was being linked with moves to PSG for 30 million, 35 million. So for Arsenal to only get £12.5 million for a 22-year-old French international, not very good business again. I suppose we have to bear in mind, look, there's a pandemic. He's been on loan and hasn't done great. He only has a year left on his contract. Clubs know that Arsenal want to sell him and that Guendouzi wants to leave. If he was playing for Liverpool, somebody like that who were really good in the transfer market at selling players, I think you'd be seeing Guendouzi go for £20 million plus. But because of Arsenal's situation, £12.5 million for Matteo Guendouzi, although we did only pay around £7 million for him. And as I said previously with Granit Xhaka, 35 million we bought him for. They're talking of him going for between 17 and 20 million. So we'll have to wait and see on those two. In other transfer news around Europe, Manchester City legend Sergio Aguero completed a 2-year deal to Barcelona on a free transfer. I have to say, Aguero, I don't know, we're so used to seeing him in the sky blue Manchester City kit. It is a little bit different seeing him in the Barcelona kit. Certainly one there that, you know, will take some getting used to. He went on to say that Barcelona are one of the biggest clubs in the world. He was delighted to sign for them and that he expects Lionel Messi to be at the club next season. Messi, of course, and Aguero are very, very good friends. And I'm sure Messi would have told Aguero, listen, if you're coming here, I'll still be at the club next season. With Sergio Aguero going to Barcelona, does that open the door for Arsenal to target Memphis Depay? Now, there are rumours coming out of Arsenal today that if Lacazette, if the club receive an acceptable offer, they are prepared to sell him, and also with Eddie Nketiah. Now, that would mean Arsenal need a striker. Memphis Depay was apparently being linked with a move to Barcelona. This deal has now stalled. Reports coming out of Barcelona are that they don't feel it's necessary for them to buy another striker. They have Antoine Griezmann. They've now added Aguero. I think they've still got Martin Braithwaite, although he's not particularly Barcelona standard. But they don't necessarily think they need to add Memphis Depay, who wants big wages on a free transfer. Would you guys take Memphis Depay at Arsenal as a replacement for Alexandre Lacazette? Now, I will probably do a video about this later on in the week. Me personally, I would be interested in this. If we could potentially get 20 million plus for Lacazette and then get Memphis Depay on a free transfer, this is a guy that sort of failed at Manchester United and I think would have a lot to prove in the Premier League. But as I said, I will do a video about that later on this week. Look out for some of these videos as well. I will be doing some shorter transfer videos as well. Don't worry, I will still be doing the longer streams as well. It's a little bit of a quiet time at the moment. The football season's finished now. We're about 10, 12 days away from the Euros starting, and hopefully all the transfers will start hotting up. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know about those things in the comments that we've talked about today. Would you sell Xhaka for 17 million? Would you sell Guendouzi for 12.5? What do you think about Aguero going to Barcelona? And would you like to see Arsenal move for Memphis Depay if they were to sell Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah? Let me know in the comments, people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you later in the week, people. Bless.